Alright, so welcome to Robotics EP once again, and in this video we'll focus on the commands which we missed last time, namely stretch, scale, um, both rectangular and polar array, erase, explode, and offset. We'll get started with stretch, which is self-explanatory. You'll stretch the object you want to stretch. So we'll start off with stretch and select the stretch icon, and you will select the object you want to stretch, right? So I only want to stretch these three lines over here, right? To the right, you click enter. It will tell you to specify the base point. You can click anywhere on the grid and you can stretch it or drag your cursor. You can actually insert the exact amount of units you want to stretch it, but I'm just guessing. You can also do, I'll just there, if you want to stretch it 50 units, then you type in 50. Right? Now it is crucial for you not to select it like so from the left to right, but instead you should highlight it from right to left. So a green highlight will appear. Right? Same with this other side. You click stretch. You want to stretch these three lines. You click enter and you drag your cursor. Right? What if you had a shape in this other shape, right? And you didn't want to stretch that shape along with it, right? Well, then you would enter. Then you just have to make sure that you don't highlight the square along with it, or the shape along with it, right? So you can stretch it like so. Now, what if you wanted to stretch the square along with it? Well, then you again select the three lines along with the square this time. Press enter. You left click and you drag. So that's the stretch command. Now we'll move on to the scale command. Alright, just delete that, we don't need it. Scale command. So the scale command expands or reduces the size of your shape, but proportionally. So the proportions stay the same, right? So we'll get started. Click the scale command. Highlight the entire object. Specify the base point. Select, I don't know if you want to select this one right here, right? And specify the scale factor. So how much you want to increase it by. I want to increase the shape by 1.5, right? So it will increase it by 1.5. Now what if you want to go to your original shape? Well, you select scale and select base point, which is this one, and you type in 0.5. So reduce the size by half, and you look at the shape. Now we'll move on to the array command. Now okay, fine. Let's pretend just a minute, alright? So pretend you had a tray of muffins, and you wanted to place the most amount of muffins into the tray, so maximize it, right? Let me just finish the tray. Alright, so here you have your tray, and you wanted to put your muffins into this tray right here, but you're too lazy to, copy paste or draw more circles or more cupcakes. So first you would just draw one circle or one cupcake. Right. And since the width of the tray or the length of the tray width of the tray is 10 units, the diameter of the muffin has to be half that, so which is 5 units, so the radius must be 2.5. 2.5, click enter, press enter. Now you're too lazy to draw these muffins again and again, right? And you will have to draw 6 muffins, so 2 by 3, right? So you don't want to draw those 5 extra muffins, right? So you use the rectangular array command, right? You select your object, which is this muffin right here, you click enter, and this menu will pop up. But you only want 2 columns. You will want 3 rows, but like only 2 columns, right? So you click enter, and it will adjust the amount of columns for you. Now you need to specify the um, the space between each circle. But if you look closely to this icon over here, um, the space is not the space which is mentioned over here, 7.5. It's not the space between each circle. It's actually the space from the starting or the most left side of the first circle to the most left side of the second circle. And you want that to be 5, which is the diameter, right? Same thing with the rows. Click enter, and now you close the menu, and now you have your muffins in your tray, and you didn't need to draw 5 more circles. You could have just did it in less than a minute. Now, what if you wanted to draw, let's say, pizza, alright? You had pizza, this is your pizza, right? And you wanted to draw a pizza with slices, right? So I'll just make the slice. Alright, so instead of copying or drawing, pretend you wanted 12 slices and you didn't want to divide the circle into 12 equal parts, right? That would take too much time, right? So instead of doing that, you can just switch the rectangular array, click the menu button, and go to polar array. Now you can select your objects, click enter. It will tell you to specify the center point of the array, right? Or which would be the center point of the circle, because you're rotating the line along the center point of the circle. So you click that, right? Now it'll give you a preview, but you don't want 6 slices, you want 12 slices. Click enter, and it will have your 12 slices of pizza made for you. And you close the array. Now you'd want to you will go to the erase command, which is again self-explanatory. You highlight an object, you click erase, it's gone, poof, magic. Alright, so that's the erase command. Now we'll move on to the explode command. Explode command is for the shapes, or for the shapes which are connected. They are usually made from polylines. So I'll make a shape out of a polyline, right? And once you want to select one line, right, you can't do so because you use a polyline by mistake and you don't want to create the entire shape with the line tool again. Well, instead of doing so, creating the whole shape with the line tool, you can just use the explode tool. So you would click explode, select your objects, right, click enter, and poof, all the lines are individual now. So now it's just like you used your line tool, right? So, but what if you want to join these two lines, right? You want to make this into a polyline. There is a tool, I think, what's it called? Pedit, right? Pedit, you click enter. It will tell you to select the polyline or multiple. In this case, we want to combine multiple lines. You select the 2 objects, or as many as you want, to click enter. Convert lines, arcs, and splines into polylines. Yes, I do. And you click join, right? And you enter the fuzz distance. Fuzz distance is essentially the space between the 2 lines you want to connect, but these 2 lines were already connected, so you type in 0 and you press escape, and you will have your 2 lines connected like so. And now we'll explore the final tool, which is the offset command. So we'll get started. So the offset, so what do you do if you want bigger squares or bigger rectangles outside and inside, and you don't want to draw each and every one of them? You click the offset command. You select you select the offset distance. I'll just select 1. You can select as much as you want, right? But depends on how many squares you want inside or outside the circle. You select the object you want to offset, so it should be right over here, and click enter. Right? Oops, I made a mistake. Let's do it again. Right, so you click the offset button, and you specify the distance, which is 1, click enter. Select object to offset, select this one, and you can just continue like so. Right, now what if you want squares outside this original rectangle? So you click the original rectangle, and you drag your cursor outside, right, like so. So now you have squares inside the original square and outside the original square, just a unit smaller from width and from length. What if you wanted to? What if you wanted a square which is 2 units less in width and 2 units less in size? I mean length. You click the offset tool. Instead of typing 1 as your offset distance, you would type 2, and you will get your new dimensions of squares, or rectangles, sorry. And well, that's it, and well, we'll discuss some other tools in the next video, and until then, bye-bye.